Buenos días a todos. Gracias por acompañarnos esta mañana. Vamos a dar inicio a este webinar con unas palabras de bienvenida de Marcela Soto, coordinadora de la Dirección Institucional de la Cámara de Comercio de Lima. Adelante, Marcela.
Muchas gracias, Rosemary. Muy buen día con todos. Desde la Cámara de Comercio de Lima queremos darles la más cordial bienvenida a este webinar Artificial Intelligence Agents in Companies, Practical Use Cases, organizado por la CCL en cooperación con Soft Power Connection de Chile. Este encuentro ha sido diseñado para ofrecer a nuestros asociados y representantes gremiales herramientas prácticas sobre el uso de agentes de inteligencia artificial en la operación empresarial, destacando así su impacto en la innovación, la competitividad y la eficiencia. Agradecemos especialmente a nuestro Keynote Speaker, el señor Ori Shahar, fundador de Autumn A Labs y especialista en IA aplicada, por acompañarnos nuevamente y compartir su experiencia. El año pasado, en mayo, tuvimos el honor de recibirlo de manera presencial en las instalaciones de la Cámara de Comercio de Lima, donde desarrollamos un evento exclusivo y altamente exitoso sobre inteligencia artificial. Esa primera visita marcó el inicio de una relación de colaboración que se ha mantenido a lo largo del tiempo, y es precisamente gracias a esa continuidad que hoy podemos ofrecer este nuevo espacio de aprendizaje para todos ustedes. Saludamos también a los representantes de los diversos sectores que hoy nos acompañan: tecnología y telecomunicaciones, construcción, finanzas, manufactura, comercio, logística, educación, salud y creatividad, cuya participación, disculpen, enriquece esta jornada. Les deseamos una sesión provechosa y agradecemos su presencia esta mañana. A continuación, cedo la palabra a Pamela Libedinsky, jefe de comunicaciones de Soft Power Connection, para que nos brinde sus palabras de salud.
Muchas gracias, Marcela. Buenos días a todos y todas. Es un privilegio estar aquí con ustedes. Como dijo Marcela, esto es parte de un programa que estamos de hacer una alianza que estamos haciendo con la Cámara, que ha tenido distintas instancias, algunas actividades con empresas como Traer a Chile, y el año pasado, como bien dijo Marcela, la presentación tuvieron la oportunidad, imagino muchos de los que están aquí presentes, de conocer a Ori Shahar presencialmente. Eh, Hoy día nosotros como Soft Power somos una consultora y somos un puente en lo que es traer la tecnología de punta al continente. Nosotros conectamos lo que está hoy día naciendo en distintos espacios, en distintas latitudes del mundo, en lo que es innovación, y buscamos cómo eso podemos aplicarlo e implementarlo en Latinoamérica. Y justamente con Ori, esa es una de nuestras misiones. Hemos desarrollado un programa que se llama Discovery y que busca en un lapso muy corto, 10 o 12 horas, hacer un breve diagnóstico e ir inmediatamente a detectar casos de usos reales, y en el fondo es pasar de una PPT a casos inmediatos y soluciones inmediatas, justamente para abordar los dolores más importantes que hoy día tienen las empresas. Y si bien el año pasado Ori habló de esta revolución que significa la inteligencia artificial, hoy día yo creo que los focos están más en cómo reducimos costos, cómo mejoramos la rentabilidad, cómo hacemos nuestra organización viable y sustentable en el largo tiempo. Y es justamente con medidas concretas, con casos de éxito reales, en el fondo hacernos cargo de cuáles son las decisiones inmediatas que puede resolver la inteligencia artificial. Así que, sin más, dejo a Ori, que él les puede hablar mucho mejor que yo de cuáles son estos nuevos desafíos, y como comentó Marcela, con una larga trayectoria en lo que es inteligencia artificial, como uno de los fundadores de esta empresa icónica como Mobileye, y hoy día con su propia consultora y apoyando distintos proyectos y startups en el mundo. Así que, Ori, it's yours, the microphone. Ori.
Lo siento. Buenas tardes a todos. Me alegra muchísimo verlos aquí y quiero agradecerles por venir. Antes de empezar, quiero disculparme porque la presentación será en inglés. Mi español todavía no es lo suficientemente bueno. Aún sí espero que la charla sea interesante y que podemos disfrutarle juntos. So I will switch to English. I will talk about, I hope you see my screen. Okay. Just I will share. I will just change something in how I share. So please, disculpame. Okay, so everybody can see my screen now? Okay, so I'm the founder of Automate Labs. We help companies, organizations take AI into productions. We offer many services through soft power connections for either strategic AI consultation, for AI auditing, AI discovery, roadmap, improving R&D with AI and upskilling. We offer AI agents and automation for many use cases. We will talk on this meeting. And of course, also we are expert in machine learning for optimizing and model optimization, data-driven decision making, and such. We work with many customers and companies in the market. We are situated in Israel, and naturally a lot of our companies and customers are in Israel, but we also have starting to have a nice line of customers in Chile, and we hope to have be able to help other companies in the really exciting and emerging market in South America. Okay. So I prepared for you a whole lecture that will walk through AI cases that are used now in industry. Actually, I will show you AI cases which we built for our customers, and through them we will talk about it. So I will start just with a really simple AI case that we as a company started in 2023. We had this large shipping company in Israel that is having a lot of load in data entry of invoices, and we're talking about complex invoices. They had a previous OCR plus manual process, and afterwards we were kind of the first ones to use one of the first companies to use large language models like ChatGPT, or not ChatGPT, but basically the GPT, the engine behind the ChatGPT, in order to understand invoices. And here we used the power of the large language model in order to understand a very complex structure of invoices, where you have to look for understand a very flexible in the situation of this shipment company. They had like thousands and thousands of invoices coming to their customers from different suppliers, and those suppliers each one have their own way template, each one have their own way to write an invoice. And the traditional OCR methods to extract SKUs, to extract out where to send, to extract the content of how many parts and what are the values, were breaking on those. And we were able to reach really significant human level results with the large language model. Back then it was GPT 3.5. This is a very common use case. I think that many of the companies currently use LLMs for having these and that kinds of invoices automatically inputted into their ERP systems. So this is like, I would say, let's start with the base. This is a basic use case. Now we will go into more elaborate use case. I will tell you about the problem in healthcare. Okay, so we have one of the largest health provider in Israel. They have a often are requested to give specific drugs where they need to reimburse the drugs. These are drugs that cost quite a lot, and they need to screen the people that are requesting for those drugs. For example, there are many new treatments for migraines that are very expensive, and you should be very limited in understanding who you would like to give this drug for. Now, the people that request the drug, they are coming with the medical notes, okay, medical notes that they have from the doctor, and in the doctor there's a recommendation to get this drug. However, in the this health care insurance company, they employ real physicians to go over these doctor notes and understand whether the person requesting the drug is eligible for the drug. What does it mean, eligible? So there are rules. What are the rules? First of all, the migraine, for example, if we're talking on a migraine, it has to be at some frequency. It has to be at very difficult level. It's very impactful. It should have evidence of impacting the way you work. This is a lot of information that, by the way, is only in the doctor notes, because the patient comes and describe the situation and comes to the doctor with a lot of notes, and the doctor in free language writes those notes. But there are also other rules. There are also other rules because the social benefits provider checks if the patient has already received some basic set of drugs. For example, for migraine, did you try ibuprofen or all kinds of like basic drug for headache? Did you take blood pressure drugs, depression drugs? There are all kinds of drugs you have to take and try and see the results before being recommended and eligible for the drug. And all this information is in the free text in the medical note. And the doctor in the social benefit organization, there is a doctor who has a degree and he's not handling patients. He's just reading through medical notes. And what we did for them, we built this system or workflow with AI, which basically reads the medical note, extracts the information like the cadence and the frequency of how many patients are experiencing the migraine, how they experience whether it's like hard, very severe or not, and of course all the other aspects. And then we extract it into a table, an Excel or what's a database, and there we can apply the rules. And those rules basically are rules that the physician does. It's very tough rules. It's rules that the social benefits provider decides on. And so basically the AI app here, I would say the automation and AI app was extracting the information from the medical documents and using the rules to address, to approve or disapprove or get a decision. And many of you can think of this. Yeah,
Ori, sorry, can you speak louder, please?
Okay, don't you hear me well?
Not so. If you can.
What about now?
Marcela, it's okay now?
It's better.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Better, thanks.
Do I need to repeat anything?
No.
Okay. So I will show you kind of an evolution of this because after them came another provider, and this provider basically they help people that are need to that they lost an ability to function at work to some level due to a disease, due to a crisis, due to a mental crisis, due to something like that, and they are eligible for benefits. And the thing is that they are not expert not in what the benefits they have, and they are not expert in submitting a claim. So there's this company which basically helps you submit the claim, and there are just people there that interview the patients, the people that submit the claim, and extract the information, extract their background, and help them fill out the claim. And these people that help them fill out the claim, they know very specifically what is the social insurance organization, the health insurance in Israel looks for when in order to process a claim. They look for specific a way to describe depression, loss of workability, and such. And what we built for them, but it's very time consuming, so they have high level experts doing this interviewing and then summarizing and such. What we have done for them is a system that basically all their interviews are recorded, that take the recorded interviews and documents that the people that try to fill the claim, the page, I would say the people that sue that want their rights, they help them extract the information. This is all recorded, and the system is basically taking the transcript and helping analyzing it and helping draft a professional, I would say, professional claim. And then it follows it is used by the professional who reviews it before sending to the to the social health organization. He reviews the draft, and it shortens for him a lot of the work because then he can do all kinds of very short edits and such. So this is again another way where the AI, the use of language, if we before talked about extracting invoices to structured data, then we extract, after that we extracted the patient's information into structured data of Excel and such. Now we are automating how to draft claims. Our next customers took it to the next level. So our next customer was a company that built a SaaS for lawyers. And when they built the SaaS for lawyers, the intention was that lawyers getting many times represent people that sue their health insurance companies for medical expenses. Okay, so you should know that the process is that you have, if you want to sue your health insurance or your insurance company for medical expenses, you have to justify each medical expense. Now, these are usually people that were in accidents or complex situation of medical situation. When you where you are in an accident, then you of course need to be in the ER, and there's a follow-up, meeting specialists, doing radiologies, all kinds of. These are people that spend a lot of time in different stations in the health system, and in each of those stations they have to pay. They have to pay for the emergency room, for the hospitalization. They have to pay for the for the ultrasound, they have to pay for the specialist and the therapist and the physiotherapist. They meet like 2 times a week or something like for a lot of months. And they need to justify each one. And when they come and sue their insurance company, they come to their law offices with a large set of documents, all the bills and all the medical notes and all the lab results and all the hospitalization reports and everything. These are like sometimes hundreds of documents. And eventually what the lawyer needs to do is to appear in front of a judge. Okay, this is in a USA company. He needs to appear in front of a judge and submit a very thin form of medical chronology, which is narrates exactly each treatment and why this treatment was relevant, and the patient should be reimbursed. Okay, and he should also build a story, a synopsis of everything, so the judge will get it. The judge cannot get the whole 800 pages. Usually the lawyer gives it to his intern, and this is a work that takes several days, weeks in order to prepare the case. What we did is build an engine for a system that actually gets those hundreds of cases, classifies each one, of course, which came from the hospital, which came using large language models, so using their ability to understand what happens in the document, classifies each, understand which comes from a hospital, which is a specialist, generates a chronology, arrange them according to each specialist and dates, and then build this chronology and synopsis, saving many hours, or I would say days and weeks of work of the intern and the lawyer in order to prepare. So you can eventually, it was built into a SaaS where the lawyers, which get these 800 pages of all the paper from the customer, they just upload it to some website, and they get the medical chronology back, which they can of course edit and prepare for submission. And it's a very very nice case of saving a lot of money in a very specific use case. This is, of course, on the right side, you could see all kinds of the types of health documents. The medical chronology is basically takes each one and arrange it according, extract information, extract the treatments, and then also build a synopsis, which is basically a summary, a tailored summary for this case. So we could see really nice this how AI is used and is able to be used more and more in helping save time in the health system, insurance system, in approving claims, in following claims, in tracking claims. The whole process through the AI can be digitized and done quickly, replacing work that is done by many clerks over many companies. So, but this case of using the language, also the language abilities of the large language model in order to extract data appears in many cases. Here we had a customer from real estate. This customer is basically selling or is brokering offers for lots, for real estate lots in the USA, which a lot is where you could put like a shop, a McDonald's. Basically, you have a lot, which is a piece of real estate, and somebody else, like a franchise, leases this lot for several years and puts his McDonald's over there. Okay, And the brokers, they help their customers buy or sell those lots, and the lots of course have a lot of value, not just because of the area, but also they sell the lease. There is like a franchise there is a shop there that has that produces income for the owners of the lot. Now when they try to price this kind of how much should I market this lot for, they look at a lot of, they try to collect a database. They have access to many brochures of different lots that they have been sold or offered in this area, other areas, similar areas, all in these nice PDF brochures telling the story of each lot. And to build a database, they have someone manually extract the information from each lot. Why do they build a database? Because they want to compare what they want to sell or buy to the prices that are in the market. So basically this whole operation is done to support some way of market intelligence. Okay, and what they do is they do manually, they go over these PDFs of 14 pages and they extract a lot of information that is in different formats out there. What we did is we built for them an automation which goes over those PDFs and extract many of the items that they try to extract in like 99% accuracy. So the large language model are able to handle a large variety of information there. As long as the information is clear and not ambiguous, you get the output there. And this basically is a way to use the AI in order to get information from around the world, around your business, of competing markets, of competing offering, in order to build your database to calibrate your offer relative to theirs. So this is a nice use case that in fact I have already another customer in real estate that has roughly the same process. Know that there are out there in the market, there are professional analysts that supply this service. There are professional analysts that build those databases and look at competing offers, and basically this AI kind of does a large part of what of those analysts are doing. Okay. Okay, another nice use case in AI which is emerging now.
Ori,
yeah.
Excuse me, there are some questions.
Okay, I will stop now. I talk for
Okay.
like more than, yeah. Okay. So who do you want to read out the chosen questions from the chat? How do you want me to address the questions?
Marcela, can you read the questions?
Yes, of course. Well, the first is, do you know if these EA health claims are being applied in Peru? Our social health system is poor. This will be very useful.
Yeah. So it's like, I think I already starting to see the initial organizational or government or non or public health and insurance. They are very slow into uptaking this technology due to, well, they move slow, and also due to they need to plug it into their systems. Okay, but I already see or already hear about initiatives like this that are taking more and more attention.
Okay, we have another question. What AI automation do you recommend for sales, like in this case, real estate?
This is a very broad question. Recommend for sales. Sales could be, it's a very large operation. You work with data, you work with marketers. So I need more specific question to answer. Maybe the person that asked that, maybe he can be more specific in the use case he brought and write another question, and in 10 minutes I will do another stop and we'll address it.
Okay, we don't have more questions.
Okay, I will proceed. A pharmaceutical company. Pharmaceutical company is all about regulation. Okay, in every country there are pharmaceutical company. I'm not talking about Pfizer or those large R&D companies. I'm talking about companies that already have the formula and they just manufacture. They either manufacture like drugs they represent from abroad, or they either represent some generic drugs they have. The process of generating of making a drug, manufacturing and releasing it to the public is very highly regulated. The regulation is done mainly on looking at the process of the manufacturing is done by lab people that plan all kinds of machines. They put material. The material should be in some amounts. The materials should be according to some dates. They are using all kinds of machines and apparatuses, and those needs to be cleaned, and those need to be cleaned at a specific date. There's a lot of regulation to verify that the process is clean, is safe, and everything is according to standards. So there are many points and checks where lab persons are checking and filling forms. They fill forms like this for this drug. We just for the preparation of the material, we've put this and this amount of this kind of material, chemical, that was prepared at this date, and this is its number, batch number. A lot of checks, and for every row like this they have to sign. So you get like these 200 pages forms signed for different stages of the process. And after they do this and sign it, somebody goes over it. There's a team that goes over each batch that you release to the public, checking that the signature was signed correctly, checking that the amounts were within the thresholds that were defined in the recipe. Everything is highly regulated, and somebody checks that the lab person checked everything and wrote everything and that the numbers are correct. Okay, so there's kind of a double check and another eye that looking and always checking this. This takes a lot of time. This takes the most time of the time within a week of 2 people, which are qualified people to sign this. These are people that went to pharmacology school, and most of what they do is verify signatures, okay, and verify numbers and compare numbers. So what we are building for them now is an AI that reads those forms, knowing how they need to be they need to be filled, verifying signatures are there, verifying that the numbers for each chemicals are basically replacing doing the validation like the qualified person is doing, and referring them to the actual errors. Okay, so basically this is a quality assurance support system. It's an AI which supports a quality assurance. This is it's very, for every area which is highly regulated with forms and such. AI can give incredible solutions, pushing productivity very high. And I can tell you that I asked this company, how much does it cost to build a digital system that instead of signing forms and reading them with AI, that you can put stuff on application. I tell you, this is not easy. These are very expensive systems. These are hundred of thousands of dollars just to build such systems and maintain them. Okay, these are those batches that are approved. They happens like every several days. It takes a lot of there are different batches, different drugs. This company has 50 types of different drugs, so you'd see that the forms can be different. And AI here can do it in, let's say, 4 times cheaper. Okay, so this is, and it can be very flexible to the forms that the companies have. So this is for quality assurance and validation. I have another very interesting use case from which we are doing to another company in the healthcare. This is a startup. Did you know, how much of you knew that dogs can smell cancer? There's a whole there. I don't know if I have been hearing about this for a lot of times. There are apparently when somebody is for a large variety of cancers is sick with cancers, then the body exerts all kinds of chemicals, small chemical particles, which some animals can smell and dogs can smell. Okay, you can train dogs for early detection of cancer. How do you do it in an industrial scale? Well, this is very difficult. So there's this startup that built some kind of a mask. Okay, and this mask, you put it on the person nose and he breathes on it, and the chemicals are stuck there. Then he needs to put it in some box, send it to the startup. The startup then does something chemical and uses the dogs in order to give early detection. And by the way, the results are 95% plus. This is early detection. The only problem is how to industrialize it. Anyway, the problem of this startup is, well, they build everything, it's okay, but now they have to approve it for FDA. Okay, and the requirements were built through development. Okay, so many times health companies, especially in health devices, they build through research and development and experiments, and when they come to do the FDA, they are missing a lot of the requirements for these devices. And the process of building these requirements back so the FDA would approve it. So the FDA requires all kinds of requirements and how you test them. Then the company has to do some kind of what we call a reverse or a recreation of requirements process, or regenerating the requirements, or generating the requirements, or reverse engineering the requirements. This is a known problem in companies in healthcare of devices. And usually what you take is some agency that is expert in that, someone that is expert in that, and this someone goes over all the documents and go back and starts, and it takes like several months to generate these requirements for the FDA. And what we built for them is an agent that actually identify the requirements, filter what is relevant requirements, what are, and the company has hundreds of documents on this device, and some are not related to requirements. So the AI needs to understand which is a requirement, testing, manufacturing documents, and extract those requirements. So shortening this task from several months to a few days. Okay, of course there is the review of the expert on it, but this now for a company that has to develop these kinds of devices and approve it on different countries, this is imperative to do this stuff so over and over again, because this is the way to scale up, and this is a bottleneck in the growth of the company. So basically the AI is not just saving the time of these experts as doing this, it's also unlocking some bottleneck for the company to do it on as they wish, as they progress. And also the AI handles situation where documents are updated, so you need to update the requirements. So this is a very complex process, very known in the industry, where the AI now can, a large language model brings a large change of a large shift. So far we talked about many interesting cases, okay? All of them have in common is they are what we call workflows. These are not AI agents. Okay, everybody hear about AI agents. These are not AI agents. These are workflow and AI automation. What do I mean? It means that there is a very closed program process where there is an input and there is an AI. It extracts some stuff, does some stuff, and then an output. The AI doesn't really decide on what to do. The AI doesn't reason or whether to do this thing or that thing. The AI is instructed to get this input, there is a certain prompt, and to execute it. One problem with those AI workflow is that they are very rigid. Rigid meaning what the workflow break if, for example, there is missing information, there is some unclarity. The workflow, it's like it's a program process. It doesn't have room to make a decision and reasoning and decide maybe to ask the person in charge what to do in some case. Okay, so this is all the cases that I showed you. There are really benign cases of AI. These are not what we look for as the future of AI. And the next part of the lecture would be taking you on a journey of how AI is starting to look not as automation but as real workers, replacing real workers. One thing that, yeah, go ahead. I don't hear you, Pamela, you are muted.
Perhaps not now, but there's a question in the chat. It's a bit long. Perhaps better if you can read it then and receive your response.
Hi, Ori, I'm in sales in the insurance industry. We work with large database of clients and prospects. What architecture would you recommend so that from a single data we can segment clients and prospects, extract key commercial indicators, produce personalized digital content? I'm looking for integrated solution. I have exactly the thing for you. Wait 3 slides. Who asked this? Okay, wait 3 slides. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay. I will just give another, before I give the answer for this very interesting Manuel question, I have to introduce to you another ability of the AI, not just to process documents, but also to allow us to communicate in free language. Okay, So two cases of free language with complex for retrieval of information is retrieval with documents. Example, we have a customer who's a real estate evaluators. What are real estate evaluators are doing? They are having some property, let's say a building, fourth floor in a building on some private building. Okay, not commercial, in some street, and they need to evaluate it. Usually they need to evaluate it through comparing it to similar properties. Okay, now we have this customer. They have 20,000 evaluations in Word and PDF documents. Okay, so approximately every property you will give them, they have somewhere the information of similar properties in similar areas under similar tags, and they can evaluate it. However, they cannot find it. So everything is in SharePoint. They are asking their interns to look and ask, and okay, I have this property, can you find something similar in the database? And the intern start saying, do you remember if we have in the database something like this? Ask this office and this office and this office. And so they are having a bottleneck and a problem in finding similar examples from the past of their properties in order to evaluate them. What we built for them is a free language search engine, where before you start a search, we do a pre-process on all the documents and extract from them key indicators, phrase, and tags and metadata that is relevant. For example, for each document, they have 20,000 in documents. For each document, we extract in advance what city is it, how many floors, is it private, what kind of deal. There are all kind of combination deals. What is there near industry, not near industry, what's the purpose, and such many a jargon which is very dedicated for real estate. Okay, and after those documents have the tag, when you search in free language, we have an engine that looks for both the tags and the free language in order to find similar documents. And already in the first run of this system, they were like, wow, we had a question, the intern just looked, found it, saved us a lot of time, and this is a system in production. Okay, so this is a really nice case of how you have a large database of documents and you want to ask this question. I'm looking for a four floors, an apartment in a 4-floor building, private, with it has also a garage below. I want similar apartments, and I want to know how I evaluated them. And you can get the answers and the referrals to the few documents that actually are the most similar. So this is important. Then came the next stage, and we are getting closer to Manuel's question. So another aspect that has emerged is the ability to interrogate your databases, which are ERP, CRM, and other database systems. Okay, and in order to interrogate it, usually what you need is a technical person. That's what you needed in the past. So until now, you wanted to ask a complex question or you wanted to query these databases, you had to ask someone to make this query, a technical guy, to make a dashboard. Okay, so let's say you come in advance with many of those queries, and somebody builds you this dashboard with graphs where those queries always run and show you the output. But what happens when you have a new question? You would like to ask it in a free language, And here I would like to switch for some live demo. Sorry, just a minute. Yeah, I will switch to a live demo. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So imagine a company. I have its access to its ERP, and I would like to ask all kinds of questions on its company. For example, I want a revenue snapshot of 2024 of this company. Is a holding company. It has many, it has like 26 in this. Okay, it has here in the database I gave it 5 subsidiaries that are producing revenue and have expenses and have products. Each subsidiary has products, and each and customers and lines of products. And I just wanted to ask a simple question: what is the total revenue breakdown by subsidiary? And what I got is, somebody painted here, what I got is a simple result. From my free language question, I got an answer elaborated with graphs and an explanation of the results. For example, I would like to zoom on the top 5 most customers with largest revenue of some of my subsidiaries. Okay, so I can ask it like in a free language, and I will get the answer. Okay, by the way, it's all real time. So I have a database. There is a large language model that understands what I'm asking and asked and it turns my question into SQL and returns the question. Okay, so now instead of building all those BI dashboards, then I'm a CEO. I would like to interrogate my database of ERP, like Manuel. I'm a head of a sales team, and I would like to prepare myself I'm going to this customer. I want to know what he bought, what are the trends, what he would like. I would like to maximize my negotiation and my value which I bring to him. Okay, so I would like to query the database before I go to him. So I can query this in a free language, and these kinds of systems are now popping up everywhere. But we can go another step further. Okay, what if we didn't want to always ask the question? What if we would like to just ask like deep question and have this analyst analyze, give us a story behind what happens, not just give us numbers. So let's say I'm asking like a complex question. Okay, break down Polytex Israel revenue performance compared, break down the key drivers by customer and product. This is a deep dive. Okay, now this AI analyst will go and call several skills that it has. Oh, nice. Okay, just a minute. Like, so let me repeat it. This AI analyst will do a breakdown of, will use several tools it has. It has several skills. So I taught this AI analyst not just to be able to translate your questions to queries. I taught this AI analyst, I gave it skills how to interrogate and find the reasons for all kinds of trend. Okay, so what the AI is now doing, it's starting to do a kind of a deep dive, trying to understand what happens to the company and why. So they saw a 40% growth of this subsidiary, and it seemed that 8 of 9 products increasing revenue and not one minor decline. There is no customer churn, so it's a good sign. So we didn't lose customers significantly, and there is a margin expansion, and everything is backed by data. And this is kind of what happened here. Okay, what happened here? So I taught this AI several skills. I taught this AI how to do all kinds of related analysis, like find top customers' performance or top products, or do a sales bridge analysis, or quarter variance analysis, all kinds of skills which are basically all kinds of tables and calculation he's doing for a very specific reason, for a very specific task. Now, I gave this AI around 22 different skills of how to interrogate the data, each one being used in a different context. Basically, I gave them skills of an analyst. Okay, I took an AI which was basically all it known was to translate language to SQL, and I taught it the business, how you do things in the business, how do you analyze for trends in the business. I customized its skills, gave him, like, now he's an expert analyst, not just an expert analyst, it's an expert analyst for this company. Okay, and I also instructed it, and I can instruct it to send me reports. I can customize a report. I would like every week this kind of report answering these questions. Okay, don't give me graphs, don't give me numbers. Tell me what happened this week. Tell me which of my product went down. Let's say I have a meeting every week with my large retail customers. I meet them every Sunday. I want every Monday for you. I want every Friday a report for each one, what happened this week for each one of the product I'm selling them. And then I come as a salesperson to this retail chain, and I know better than them what happened there, because I have all the invoices, and I know what goes up, what to give a discount, and what to sell not to sell not cheap. So this is a very powerful tool for sales, but not just for sales. We build it for a company that monitors its subsidiaries, each one which is a profit generation center. So they have 20 companies selling and buying. And for them, we didn't solve the problem of sales teams. For them, we solved the problem of how do I monitor all those profit centers. I have many companies. You could think in a similar way. Let's say you are a large chain of healthcare, and you have many clinics, and you would like to oversight and have a good understanding of operational costs, what drugs, trends, and you as a leadership needs to have better access. Think that you are an electricity producer. You have many small locations where they produce energy and distribute it and are making profit for you or making revenue for you. You would like to see which is operating more efficient, which is less, which is driving more money, which is... You are a manufacturing with 6 different plants to produce your stuff all over the world, okay? And you would like to, each one is doing the same thing, but you would like to monitor the operation, how their management is efficient. You want the story behind the numbers. And this is now where these AI agent analysts, super AI skilled analysts that are customized to your organization, that are able to help you monitor your organization, monitor the efficiency, monitor your teams, monitor your database. I think this is kind of, Manuel, tell me if I'm correct, this is kind of what you were thinking about when you were asking this question. Let me go back to the presentation. Sorry. Okay. Are there, now that I've given this, are there any questions from the audience about what I've shown now? I will use this short break to look in the chat and see. Manuel, when implementing AI solution to analyze a commercial database, does the AI work only with the data we upload, or can it also leverage global data and external patterns? Definitely, definitely. Think about it, how I gave this AI access to the, sorry, okay, this is the skilled AI analyst. Think about how I gave it access to the ERP systems. Okay, imagine that I would have given it access to also the internet, just to ask questions. And imagine that we together would have defined there a skill or set of skills that allows to compare what happens in your company to stuff that happens outside of the company, like in specific databases you monitor, in financial reports of some company you are tracking, or in some markets database. So imagine that if you want it, you can customize an integrated view of both your data and this and external data, and we can do it everything with the highest privacy, because your data does not leak out. You just have this AI, it's interacting with your databases, but it also can pull data from the internet, do searches, and gives you report and such. Si alguien más tiene dudas o consultas, pueden. Okay. Additionally, if I perform advanced analytics using my own data, is it possible to use AI to generate benchmarks or comparison with other companies in the city, even if I don't have direct access to the database? No. AI will not guess what is not available in data. Okay? If you have other companies' information, you can do that. Okay? But here the AI will operate as a skilled person. If a skilled person does not have access to what your competitors do and how their data or to their data, then in the same way the AI will have a problem. What types of data sources, integrations, or models enable this kind of comparative analysis without compromising third-party confidentiality? Well, the AI runs on your system. If I am correct, you are asking if I connect to the ERP or to my company's data, am I safe? You are as safe as your email. Okay, these models, these solutions run on similar cloud platforms as you do. Let's say for example, when I build such a solution, I build it in the cloud environment of the customer. Either that, or I open for him a project in the cloud, which he owns. Okay, so these are highly protected areas. The models run within those environments, or they are under enterprise enterprise subscription where OpenAI and Gemini and Claude and Anthropic do not look or leak the data. Okay, this is especially like if you're running in Google Cloud Platform or Azure or AWS. Each one, they run safely in a closed environment the a large language model in an environment that is similar to where they run your email. Okay, so or where your ERP is. So it is completely safe. Okay. Okay, HMG, that's a good Manuel. So HMG is just a company I kind of invented. This is what so if it was your company, I would call it like in your company's name. So this is a AI analyst, okay? This is a custom AI analyst. This is something that our company produces and sells. If you want to hear more, you can address the team. We are very like to do these projects, and I think it's like every sales team will have something like this. Okay. Another nice use case before I go on. By the way, as I said, there are many cases where these skilled analysts can work on. We talked about healthcare, we talked about sales, we can talk about private equity, we can talk about family offices. When there is data and you need to track and you need a skilled analyst that never rests, and you can customize his skills and you can give him many skills to do all kinds of these analyses and give you the report whenever you want and how you want it and in the depth level you want it, and you can talk with it. This is what is now running today. Okay, so we build this kind of this HMG. It is basically a copy of what we built for another company. Okay, so this is available today. Great, we'll be in touch. Great. I want to take you to another nice use case that we worked on. This is for a utility company. Okay, it's a utility company, but it's for customer service. So everyone that has some issue on customer service with data platform and such should hear this use case. So we work with Arad. Arad is one of the biggest providers of IoT water meters. So I have in my house this water meter. Everyone in my neighborhood has this. Everyone in my city has this. Okay, my city municipality. Okay, they had Arad install all those meters. And when I call my city municipality customer service and I ask, hey, I got a very large bill of water today. They, in the municipality, have a customer service that take my call and opens a software that Arad gave them. This software is connected to their water meters database, and then they can see those water meters transmit what is the status with the meter like every 10 seconds. Okay, so the customer service comes and you ask this question, and then he looks at all kinds of these charts and tries to answer, why did I get a large bill? Maybe I got some leak. Maybe I was over irrigating. This happens all the time, and the time to answer those questions with the BI system takes a lot of time. What we did is we built for them an AI agent, which when the service call takes the call and uploads the customer in its dashboards, there's also an AI agent which reads into the data and does all kinds of analysis. What kind of analysis? We taught him skills of how to analyze similar as the customer service would do if he had time. Okay, we look at repetitive patterns. We look at the dates and days in the week and hours where the water consumption is large, is low, and we all have all kinds of cues to know if these are repetitive leaks, if maybe in a certain, let's say every Tuesday in 8 p.m. he has a large consumption, which is too much for irrigation, but so he has probably an irrigation that works there, but he has a leak in the irrigation. Okay, so this is how you can find problems, and then with that the AI can tell the story to the service provider what to tell to the customer. So in that sense, the AI is directing the customer service in how to approach the customer and explain the problem. And I tell you, this solves a lot of problem. And now I would like to show you a video by the CEO of Arad Technologies about this system. So if you, I will just stop sharing. In a minute I will share my desktop. Okay, share. Okay, so he put it in his LinkedIn. I can share it with everybody. So this is a promotion that Arad put for their system. I will stop the video for a second. What you see here is their dashboard. So when somebody calls, you start to get these graphs of what is the usage. But what we added is this ninth feature of a smart analysis that looked behind the scenes on all the data and reported what happens there. I can see from your consumption that between such and such there was a certain increase in your daily water. It doesn't appear to be a leak, but rather increased usages, perhaps due to a special event. Consumption peaked at such and such, giving you actionable information to work with. Okay. By the way, the next stage is not to give it to the customer service, it's to give it directly to the customer in their application. And for them, for Arad, this is something that saves a lot of time. So this is, instead of long calls, long waits, one long call does, I mean, they the Harmony, their system challenges that. Okay, they help with this AI analyst to shorten times of customer service. And this is an issue that happens with many services and operation call centers. Okay, so dealing with data is really a difficult situation. You need very expert people, people that work for you for years. If they are retiring, you bring someone new and the customer service drops. Okay, so this is for utilities. Is a very nice use case. I will stop sharing and continue. Is there any more questions for now? Okay, hold on. Okay, so this was utility and water consumptions. Now I am 2 slides towards the end. This is the last 2 slides. What did we have so far? What did we learn? I started by showing you these simple automations of AI being able to read documents and help you interact with data structures. But remember, when it dealt with documents, it was workflows. You had some input from here, input from there, some rule-based decision. Okay, there was AI involved for extracting data. Okay, but it was if such, then there is a rule. There is a rule. If output is 1, then go there. If output is there, go here. If something breaks, everything breaks. Now we are talking about skilled agents. Instead of really putting like the pipeline of a flow like installators, we are putting workers that have skills. They have access to the ERP system, to the CRM, to the web, to the email, and we are teaching them skills. yes, this AI comes with basic skills of knowing reading and writing and summarizing and extracting and how to interact with software. But now we are teaching them skills. Think of an accountant that you build an AI agent that can access the accounting database. You can teach it very simply to do an audit. We are now building an AI agent which has skills to do an audit. An audit takes 10 hours. The AI will do it in a few minutes plus a review. Okay? Now, the accounting manager, he has all these accountants. He will need less and less of them. He had a large team, now we will have a small team. Maybe he could have like 100 customers doing everything by himself. This is where we start to see, okay, where the AI is challenging the workforce. Okay, this is where AI, and this is being built now. Okay, I will take it another notch. What are desk workers? What are we doing each and one of us? We are skill workers. Each and one of us know how to read, how to write, how to summarize. But when you get us in, we learn in the university many skills. We learn in college when we do courses, we learn skills, how to do analysis like this and address like this, and we get all kinds of skills. But then we go to work and we learn more skills. We learn that in order to do some process, there is this database and this information here, and we learned it. We get like memos and emails about it, and we do mistakes, and the manager corrects us. We constantly learn skills. What now we are starting to have is AI which learns the skill is able to learn the skill independently. Okay, in the near future, 2026, you will see starting AI agents where you will less and less need to see experts that teach those AI agents all kinds of skills. Those AI will behave like workers. You will ask them to do something, you will explain how to do it. If they do a mistake, you will correct them, they will remember, and they will have a new skill. A skill in accounting, a skill on submitting forms for lawyers, and whatever you do, okay? And more they will do more and more stuff that we as desk workers do. And we will start to see emerging team leaders and companies run by a very thin management system managing AI. Okay? I can tell you that I myself in the last 2 months have went through a really big revolution in how I work. 2 months ago I had this worker, I told him one more project I get, I will take you because I'm like will overflow. And then came the new coding agent, Code Claude and others. And now I can get 10 more projects and I will not need to hire him. Okay, so you will see also there is a large talk in the startup area of those like a startup which has a lot of income, a lot of operation, but only run by the few founders. Okay, a very small company. Everybody asks, when will it come to the enterprise? This is where the difficulty comes. And if you're in the enterprise and you would like to know the answer, how it will go into the enterprise, I invite you. We in SoftPower have a gratis meeting of 1 hour talking about these topics where we can help you with your enterprise, with your business, understanding how to penetrate with AI. But I tell you something like this is now happens all around you. 2026 you will see this AI learning agent. 2027 you will have this thin, you will be competing against these very thin small skeleton companies. Okay, thank you very much. If you want advice, if you want to implement this thing in your organization, you can address, I hope this QR code works, you can address Soft Power Connections, the team here, or through Marcela. I'll be happy to guide. I'll be happy to have another session. If you have questions, I'm open here, and I'll be very happy to personally meet you and discuss how we can solve your problem. Thank you very much.
Ok, bueno, muchas gracias a todos. Marcela, Rosemary, no sé si hacemos la foto
Sí,
o,
claro.
y después cerramos con, y les dejo los contactos de Soft Power.
Perfecto, si podrían ayudarnos, gracias a todos por su participación, ¿no? Por estar atentos esta mañana. Los que pueden, si podrían encender sus cámaras y Ori, si puede dejar de compartir tu pantalla. Gracias. Ujú,
Wow, se ve muy bonito, lleno todo. Espero que haya sido una buena actividad, que les haya resonado lo que conversamos. Son
ujú.
temas un poquito duros, así que eh,
Esta foto se
nada.
la vamos a compartir junto con todos. Igual cuando ingresaron, el sistema les pidió sus datos para luego poder también darles el certificado de participación del evento. Así que yo voy a tomar la foto a la cuenta de tres. Son dos páginas, así que me esperan unos minutos con la cámara abierta. Uno, dos, tres. Un momento, por favor. Listo, gracias a todos. No sé si tienen alguna pregunta adicional final, este es el momento. Y si no, Soft Power les va a dejar sus contactos para que puedan ubicar directamente a Ori, ¿no?
Bueno, como les contamos, nuevamente muchas gracias por su tiempo. Gracias a ti, Marcela, Rosemary y a todo el equipo de la Cámara por esta oportunidad. Gracias a todos los asistentes. Como les comentamos inicialmente, nosotros somos un puente entre estas nuevas tecnologías. Aquí hay una foto de la actividad del año pasado. Y también, como comentó Ori, nosotros tenemos este programa del Discovery, que la idea es pasar de un diagnóstico de una PPT a casos concretos de uso que impacten directamente sobre su rentabilidad. Básicamente eso es lo que estamos proponiendo en el tema de este programa. Y ahí están nuestros contactos, ahí está el código de perdón, el código QR, nos pueden dejar, y ahí nos dejan todos sus contactos para que nosotros luego les respondamos, y asimismo están nuestros correos o nos pueden seguir en nuestras redes sociales.
Ujú.
Si hay algún otro comentario, nuevamente muchas gracias. Marce, Rosemary.
No, muchas gracias a ustedes más bien por permitirnos llegar también aquí a los empresarios para que puedan tener conocimiento sobre esto. Y como bien ha dicho Pamela, aquí tienen la información para que puedan entrar en contacto con ellos. Muchas gracias a los asistentes en este día.
Igualmente yo le voy a dejar toda la información a Rosemary, Marcela también la tiene, así que espero que sigamos en contacto y se viene un 2026 muy activo, muy entretenido, Así que espero nos volvamos a ver.
Gracias, gracias a todos y cualquier consulta nos pueden escribir al correo de la cámara donde les enviamos el enlace de inscripción. ¿Sí? Gracias, hasta luego y que todos tengan buen día.
Muchas gracias, hasta luego.
Chao, chao.